What's up, y'all? It's Mermaid the Dreamwalker here again. I am broadcasting this message. You're gonna hear a car in the background every once in a while because my microphones are dead. But I am broadcasting this during the full moon in Pisces. I don't know if it's called a blood moon. I don't know if it's called a red moon. I don't know. I didn't make these names. I'm just talking energy. I personally am a Pisces moon, so this is hitting me in a personal way, as it is a bunch of other people. I decided that I want to share story time, even though I can't share a whole bunch because this story will be in another book in the series of books that I'm writing that's coming out. The first one already dropped. I'm gonna put some links wherever I can. Yeah, let's get into it. I might talk a little slow because I'm like trying to figure out like how to make this quick, like how to, because this was drawn out. This was 2 years of stuff, you know. Ooh, dance with some multi pants. Yeah. So let's get into it. So this is the time that I started a tribe, disbanded it, and then one of the more disliked tribe members decided to come at me, built a coven out of her hate for me, and they decided to do spells long distance for about 2 years. This whole, her reign of vengeance took about 2 years. Yeah, interesting. So in 2023, at the beginning, me and my soulmate, who came into my life in 2022, had decided that we wanted to start a tribe. I had, it was originally my idea. I really wanted to build a family and community around spirituality and building holistically, healthily, just a community. Yeah, so we did that, and I don't really care what you think about these decisions, but we ended up moving a good amount of our tribe members in the house. Some of them came and left before the others came, but yeah, a good amount of other tribe members came to live with us. One of the most problematic people everybody literally had a problem with was the first couple to arrive. Later along the line, I realized the only reason they arrived at our house was because they were escaping someone else's home, not because they were unsafe, but because ego reasons. So they end up coming to our house earlier than expected. Mind you, the year before, because this is early in 2023, the year before at the end of the year was our first phone conversation with them. And I remember thinking, wow, the boys, the men, the gods, as we called them at the time, they put so much emphasis on respecting their goddesses, loving goddesses, the divine feminine, the dark divine feminine. They love the feminine. They're here to uplift the feminine. But when they got on that phone, it was nothing but debates about who is who, what is what, who knows what is this, like what? It was just spiritual debates. So I'm like, okay, this is a lot more hyper-masculine than I expected. But my man hasn't been around other men in so long at that point that I'm like, okay, maybe it's a guy thing. But anyway, so that was the first conversation. And then not long after that, they have their own personal issue that everybody ends up getting tied into, where she's somewhere meditating saying she's not sure he's her soulmate, and which, you should have listened to yourself at that point. And she wasn't sure she wanted to be with him or whatever. And his mom was triangulating the call. They're all talking, not triangulating the call, but I mean, she's like a part of the conversation, and then they're adding us into the conversation, me and my husband. And I'm like, this is a bit messy, but I have been in messy situations, as y'all will see in these books. I've been in many messy situations, so I try not to judge. A lot of this situation is because I tried not to judge. Anyways, so the couple was messy from before they moved in with us. I tried not to judge. My husband, when I brought these things to him, he was like telling me like maybe I should be a little bit more open to teaching people better ways and things like that. And my husband is so open-hearted to everybody. So it made sense. But when they ended up coming, it ended up being because the guy lived with his mom. The girl lived with his mom with him, and his brother comes to move in. I think he came home from jail or something. So his brother comes to move in, and he tries to escape being around his brother by jumping to our house. Okay, so at that point, I'm like, okay, that's awesome. We get to live with another spiritual couple, and I'm gonna skip over the entire year because that is going to be in the book. But by the end of the year, they had like fought and thrown knives into my wall, fought and sprayed oil all over my ceiling. And this is the female. The fights were started by her. She's pulling his locks out. She's pressing at his masculinity, like she thinks it's cute to fight and argue. I already know this because as we bonded and talked, what's so funny is the girl is a narcissist. So she'll take things that people said and try to turn it into ammunition. But the thing is, the whole time that I was trying to be her friend, I was trying to really be her tribe member, she talked only about herself because she's a narcissist. So I got so much information out of her, and she barely got any information out of me. Like all she would do when she went, later, was she would talk about my looks. She would try to tell, we'll get into it, but basically it would be petty things that she would come at me for because this girl actually only talked about herself. And in talking about herself, she told me how toxic she was. She basically was saying she fights people's baby mamas. She's, been fighting her mom for a long time, which turns out funny later because she tries to tell people that I have a mother wound because I had a fight with my mom while she was at my home. You let snakes in your home, which that's also in the story too. The first day she came through the door, my powers were turning on, and I didn't realize these things because I had never experienced it on this level. I was used to, stuck up Christians, angry hood people, but I never encountered people who practiced magic and who practiced magic with malice because I didn't know too many magic practitioners. My husband is Haitian, so he's like knowing of these things. But me, I was raised Christian, and I found spirituality myself through my own experiences. So to meet somebody who was just throwing magic in negative ways, I was dumbfounded. Like, I cannot believe it. So let's get on top of that. So by the end of the year, they had done so much in my home, even spiritually with her, her involvement with, I don't even want to go into that because nobody's, I'm not even trying to like point fingers at anything. I'm like, this was a girl who confided in being SA'd before. And she was literally the definition of hurt people because the girl was like, so let me make sure this stuff is still recording. I had to make sure I was still recording because I've been going for a minute. So by the end of that year, I finally, after a whole year of trying to be the girl's sister, like I'm not even like being a bad person. I'm not writing nothing in my journals about what I'm actually like peeping spiritually. After a whole year of doing that, I finally have to accept and like, stand on fucking business and say, girl, you have to get out of my house because you are a haunting. Like basically you are a freaking haunting, and not in a good way. Like I've always been so haunting in character because I've always had like spirit in my eyes. Like you can see it, but like this girl had, like it was like a not good type of chaos, like a type of like, it was like the most twisted divine feminine energy. It's like, I know, I did not, oh my gosh, I didn't add this part. She's a big booty Afro Latina. Not full Afro, but Afro Latina. With a little shoulder wink, Afro Latina. So, because I found out her bloodline too. Oh my gosh, the story just, like, I can't even, how much can I even tell you guys without exposing so much weirdness? Oh my God, I experienced so much weirdness in this experience. Like, I cannot wait to, like, just write the whole freaking, oh my gosh. So I'm still reeling from this to this day because this girl was a level of disgusting that I have never even met. Okay, so what I was saying was she had, like, a more Coke bottle type of shape, but, she was just a shorter girl. How can I explain? I guess that's, whatever. She had some fluff on her a little bit, but, like, it was, regular, healthy, thickness. She moves in with me. So, okay, I'm gonna get to that. Okay, so she had some healthy thickness on her. She had a little Coke bottle shape to her, and she moves in and starts losing that weight. My lifestyle keeps me thin, so she started losing her weight. How I found out that she, oh my gosh, this is actually wild. I'm gonna have to, like, I gotta come back to this.